Hey there, everyone. I got another review for you today. I actually just got this product in the mail from Discount Vapors a couple days ago. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Apollo tank. It's the E2 Apollo tank, also known as the Rocket tank. I have the blue version right here. So, just a little quick thing about the specs of this device. Um, it's a wick-based delivery systems. You can see the wicks in there, kind of similar to the VV Nova. It's said to hold 6 milliliters of juice. It's about 5 to 5.5. 6 milliliters, I think, would flood the tank. I don't think it would work very well. I have the blue version here. Obviously, it comes in silver, gold, black, green, red. I think there's a purple and a pink one. They have all different colors. I got it pretty cheap. Not too much of a setback. I mean, it wasn't anything. It was cheaper than the VV Nova. I purchased. It's got replaceable coils. It's not the same head type thing as the VV Nova. It's actually got the center post actually is removable. Yeah, this is everything that it comes with, and I actually purchased a replaceable coil for the inside, just $2 or whatever. So this is the tank. It's about the length of a mini VV Nova plus maybe a drip tip on the end, maybe a drip tip and a half on the end. Just got some juice on me. That was weird. So that's that. That's all the specs. I have standard resistance in here. They also make low resistance. Again, they don't really give the specs, so like I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't have a battery that checks the resistance, which is kind of unfortunate. But from what I understand from reading Reddit and other message boards, and from the product description, it says like 2.0 to 2.6 ohms. So I'm not sure where this is at, but it's somewhere in between there. So I mean, it's going to be a solid voltage. Or a solid resistance, regardless. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this tank, like most people you'll find on the internet. There's not that many reviews of it. It's not that well-known of a product. But, I mean, I like the look of it. I think it looks awesome. I think this shiny blue is, like, it just looks good. It's got an interesting design. It's not that cylindrical design that you see all the time. So it's interesting. Now, my problem with it here is, so I've got it filled about there. I've been vaping this for about a day. So the juice lasts a while. There's a lot of juice in here. There's about 5.5 milliliters of juice in here. This is Moo Juice from Mount Baker Vapor. But my problem with it is it's not the most consistent thing. When it works fantastic. Better flavor than my VV Nova. It's a really clean flavor. Better vapor production. It's great. When it doesn't work, which is about 50% of the time, it is bad. Really bad. There's dry hits, no vapor, very little vapor. It's a really bad experience. So I'm going to show you how vapes, like I said, 50% of the time it's not going to do good. You just got to give it a little tip every now and then. It's at 4.2 volts. Let's see how it vapes right now. That wasn't horrible. That's definitely not the best that it can do, but that wasn't horrible. I'm just gonna kind of hold it like this a little bit. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. The flavor was good. Vapor production was okay. Now the draw on these is a little bit tighter than a VV Nova. You have to give it a little bit harder of a draw than you would on a VV or a Clearmizer or Cartomizer, anything. I mean, it's a hard draw, but I mean that's not the worst that could happen. You can easily adjust to that. It's got a bunch of problems besides the spotty performance. It's really hard to find a good voltage to vape this at. I'm still looking for that like perfect voltage. I'm actually going to turn this up to about 4.4 volts. Once you fill it, you have to let it. I had to let this sit for about an hour and a half before it was vapable. I mean, it was producing nothing. I let it wick for about 10 minutes before I picked it up. Started using it, but after 10 minutes it wasn't even close to wicked enough. It was just dry hit after dry hit after dry hit. So I let it sit, just kind of on its side, turning it over every so often so both wicks, could get some liquid in there. And after about an hour and a half, it started hitting really well, and I really liked it. That's really annoying, though, because what I'm looking for in a tank is I want to be able to fill it up and use it. I would never leave the house with just this. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to put it in a Clero, a dual-coil cartomizer, or my VV Nova. I'm not going to be using this. This is more of an around-the-house type of thing, because it really is a great device when it works. Good throat hit, amazing throat hit, better throat hit than on any device I've tried. Good vapor and good flavor, but it's not that consistent, and that really kills me. I'm really, I can't give it a good review just because it's so spotty. The other thing is it leaks like crazy. So, I don't know, let's see if it's leaking right now, but, okay, so right now it's not leaking. When I first filled it up, I had it on my Ego Twist battery, just because I like the way it looks. It's Ego threaded, so it looks nice on the Ego Twist. But it was leaking all over, just not good. And it wasn't even filled all the way. It was filled about a little bit under the top of the glass, which is what they recommend you fill it to, and it was just leaking for no reason. There's no reason it should have been leaking. Before I filled it with juice, I took it all apart, and I made sure all the pieces were secure and all the pieces were installed correctly in there. And everything's tight, and it's just not, it leaked. Also, underneath this drip tip, I don't know if you can see, but so the head, the centerpiece, comes up right here. That little thing in the middle is actually the top of the centerpiece. And I've noticed juice just creeps into there for no reason. Because, this got a solid O-ring on it. It's the drip tip that came with it. Juice creeps into there, and it gurgles a lot, and juice gets in your mouth pretty frequently, which is disgusting, and it makes you feel just and bad. But it's really, it's a cheap device. It's not expensive in the slightest. It's cheaper than the VV Nova. I picked one up just because it looked cool and I wanted to try it and give it a review for you guys. But let me give it a vape and see how it works this time. Great vapor. That voltage was a little too high because that tasted not that good, but the vapor production was there. So, you see what I'm saying. It's either not as much vapor as I'd like, and it's good flavor, or it's bad flavor, good vapor. Yeah, it's just not. See, like that, the flavor was good, but there's no vapor. So that was on 4.3. I turned it down 1 volt. I'm going to put it back on 4.2 because that seemed to be the magic number. Let me try that one more time. Let me give it a little tip. But yeah, like I said, I can't give it a good review just because it's really spotty. It's got a lot of problems. I've heard good things about the E1, which is their similar to a dual coil cartomizer look. It's a clearomizer. And I've heard a lot of good things about it. This is, like I said, this is the E2 tank, the Apollo tank, or the Rocket tank, depending on where you're buying it. I got it from Discount Vapors, which is one of my favorite places to buy things. Great prices, fast shipping, great customer service, just awesome selection of products. They have a huge selection of products. If you've never been there, I'll put a link in the description because you really need to. But let's give this one more vape before I send you guys on your way and see if this is gonna work. Yeah, I don't know. The flavor's good, not as much vapor as I would like. So like I said, I'm not going to give it a good review. Out of a scale of 10, I'd probably give it about a 5, just because it's 50-50 on how your experience is going to be. Last night, this thing was hitting like a tank. Huge vapor, huge flavor, huge throat hit. Today, it's been not that great. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. Like I said, I'm never just going to take this out by itself. It'll probably just sit in my collection at around my dorm or around my house, just kind of waiting till I get back to give it a try every now and then. But if you want to try it out for the price, It's not the worst thing you could buy. I mean, it's definitely, definitely cheap. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about it. Try it if you want. I'm not going to recommend this by any means. I'm just saying, I mean, when it hits great. When it doesn't hit, it's really bad, and it makes me kind of want to kill myself a little bit. It's horrible. But, I mean, check it out if you want. If you don't, that's good too. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to send you guys on your way, but keep on vaping.